Welcome, everybody. We are so incredibly excited to be here today. As promised, we are going to take you on a virtual tour of the new BTC campus out in the city of Parlier. You're going to get to see the Rescue Center, but we have a third surprise for you guys today. We have something that has been an adaptation of all the generosity from this community and from some really important community contributors like Fig Garden Rotary and the Pink Foundation. That is something that just far exceeded even something that we thought was going to be possible. I want to first and foremost congratulate one of our board of director members, our new mayor, Mayor Jerry Dyer. I know that you're watching this as a board member, and so we really are so excited for you and for the direction that you're going to take our city in. But I wanted to bring that up because he made a quote, and we've been around for about 7 years now, and it was at our second or our third annual banquet, which is, if you don't know, one of the biggest events that Breaking the Chains hosts. It brings in a lion's share of the funding for what we do as a privately funded community organization. But he made a statement, and he said that Breaking the Chains is the fastest growing nonprofit that he has encountered, and that we have done so much with so little. That let me quote this right, that he's never seen another organization do so much with so little. Now, I would really love to be able to pat myself on the back and say, I'm a great saver, but that's not the case. The fact of the matter is Breaking the Chains operates because you care. You are breaking the chains. Your donations, your support, our volunteers, those who have come alongside of us faithfully from the beginning, from people like our now Mayor Jerry Dyer, to local police departments like the City of Parlier, Homeland Security, FBI, DOJ, our city council, local leaders. We were birthed out of the Fresno Rescue Mission. So, I mean, the list goes on, from partners like Marjorie Mason, thank you, Nicole, those who sit back with us, who have helped mentor us and guide us. The fact of the matter is this community seen a need and it filled that need. And you guys touch me in so many ways. I have to say that not just as a leader, but as a survivor, it absolutely moves me to see how much this community cares. 15 years ago, it felt like nobody cared. I remember feeling like I was invisible. I remember walking down Parkway, abused, scared, terrified, and thinking that the world had forgotten all about me. But you know what? You guys have brought a voice to the voiceless. So first and foremost, of course, this all goes back to you. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for taking the time to take this tour with us. We really, really wish that we could have taken some of our key contributors like Pink, Fig Garden Rotary, and some of the others who have contributed to these projects. Of course, our city partners out there in Parlier. But because just like everyone else, we want to make sure we're keeping everybody safe and that we are working together to stay healthy, we are going to be doing this virtually today. You may have noticed we have one of my newest superhero buddies. We have Police Chief Jose Garza. Chief Garza, thank you so much for being here today. How is 2021 kicking off for you?
Well, 2021 for me and for the city of Parlier is going to be the turnaround year for us, and especially to have Breaking the Chains here now in our city and providing the resources that's definitely needed.
Well, we're excited. I think the same thing. I think that we're going to just see so many hurdles jumped throughout 2021. I'm counting on it. So I'm going to speak that right alongside of you. Well, first and foremost, though, we're going to be starting off with touring the Parlier campus. But, I have to give a shout out to one of your city officials. I'll let you decide if you want to name them. I haven't gotten direct permission, so I'm not going to do it. But I have to really also just make sure that, again, you guys understand how each and every person's contribution and each and every one of the corporate supports, the media supports we get, how it makes an impact. So we have been on KMJ now with Cumulus Radio many, many times. I particularly love, everything from Broski Musan, Ray Appleton, Skip and Phil, been on every single show. We actually have a huge event, so just kind of shameless plug, this Monday, January the 11th, all day on KMJ, but just having create these incredible opportunities. So we were on KMJ, we were sharing, I think if I remember right, your city official told me they heard a little bit about my personal story and what we were doing. And it sparked that person to be like, oh my goodness, we need this out here in Parlier. And so she single-handedly reached out, made this happen. I'll let you kind of fill in the blanks because you guys started working together, called us, and the city of Parlier pretty much followed in Fresno's footsteps and said, no more, we're not going to do this. So Chief, I'm going to let you kind of take it away as to what this means for the city of Parlier and what are your hopes for the future?
Well, it does mean a lot to the city of Parlier, and the official, our city manager, Sonia Hall, wrote a grant, and our CalVIP grant that was approved, and Breaking Chains was part of that grant. And now you have a facility here that we're proud of. You've already provided training for my officers and the surrounding officers of our county here, like Sanger, Selma, and Reedley, and it just to understand human trafficking and know how to identify these victims. And we've already had a success story of a 15-year-old that you were able to intervene and are currently working with her. So it's a resource that's is so valuable, and every agency around us then around Parlier is going to utilize that. So we're very blessed and thankful for Breaking the Chains.
Well, we thank you too. I mean, it's incredibly exciting. I have to say that I do remember actually you on the force before, but it wasn't for the city of Parlier. Can you tell everybody where your roots started at?
Yes, my roots is Fresno Police Department, 36 years and 3 months, and under the Chief Dyer, I was one of his commanders, specific a lot of time in the Southeast District. Love that department, still love that department, but it's a blessing for being a chief here and be able to have ownership of a city that I could really contribute everything I'd learned from Fresno and bring it here, and we're just doing an awesome job.
And I mean, I bring that up because I just think that it's so amazing whenever we really understand that where we're at, like the knowledge that we gain, the knowledge that city of Fresno has. I don't know if you're aware of this, and I don't know how many of our viewers are aware of this, but I can honestly tell you that, I mean, I was just on a Zoom call with McGregor Scott a few weeks ago, about a few weeks before Christmas, from speaking with the U.S. attorney all the way down to D.C. and so many different community leaderships. I also had the opportunity to train for the WISN law enforcement training. So, I mean, there was countless officers and departments there, and all of them say the same thing. Like, what's going on in the central San Joaquin Valley? You guys seem to be kicking butt when it comes to human trafficking, and it's collaboration. And I think I love that. I love how you came out of the Fresno Police Department, you went into Parlier, your roots are there now, right? You're taking this city to this whole nother level. You've done what so many people have closed their eyes to, because this is huge. I mean, for us, I can't personally count how many. Well, I guess I could. I guess that's kind of a lie. We don't want any lies on this video. If I got the paperwork out, I'm sure I could probably make a safe estimate that at least 20% of our clients are coming from some of the South Valley rural communities. They're coming from, Orange Cove, Sanger, especially, right? Parlier, Dinuba, Fowler, Selma, all the way out through Coalinga and, Raisin City, Carruthers. And we're seeing that. We're seeing these kids, kind of like the case we had together, right? Where they are runaways who are kind of either on the verge of or actually ensnared by a trafficker. And they may be brought to like Fresno or Los Angeles or the Bay Area, but they're coming out of these homes. And so, again, it really moves me that you guys see that need, that you guys have grabbed the hands of your other rural community partners and brought them together and said, look, we're going to do something about this. Not to even mention the labor trafficking, which we know is going to be a huge focus for us while we're out there in Parlier. So I don't want to keep everybody waiting. I cannot thank you enough for coming out here today, for coming on the Zoom call again, staying safe with us, and just being a part of everything that we're trying to do for this community, for the Central San Joaquin Valley. And everybody, let's take you on a tour. If you guys are ready, let's show you the Parlier campus. Thanks again, Chief. I'll talk to you real soon.
Thank you.
Welcome to the BTC Parlier campus. I'm so incredibly excited about this. How about you?
I'm so excited. I'm so excited to finally tell somebody.
Oh my goodness. Well, you know what? We want to share this with you. So let's not delay. Tiffany, will you take them on a tour?
Oh, I would be excited to do so. Follow me. So let me take you now in to go tour our facility, right? So first and foremost, I just want to take the opportunity to take you into our classroom. Our classroom is really huge for us out here because not only are we being able to be the community advocate for all of the people who are involved in any type of human trafficking, but we're going to be able to educate the city of Parlier and all of the community. We're going to be able to hold classes to be able to show people what human trafficking is, let them understand what red flags are, how they can identify someone that might be trafficked, and then also just be able to educate the community and the city leaders as well. With all that being said, you can kind of see it's a very huge room, so we'll be able to hold lots of different types of classes in here to be able to educate the community. So I'm going to go ahead and take you this way. We're going to go down this hallway right here, and we're going to take you into the other half of the lobby area. The other half of the lobby area is where we're going to be able to provide snacks for emergencies, food. This is also where we're going to have a victim advocate that is going to be out here 3 days a week to be able to assist the case manager in any needs that need to be handled at that time. You can see we have a nice little mini fridge set up, some coffee. We will have all of the emergency essentials, you know, your cup of noodles, chips, hot Cheetos to get to the kids, that kind of thing. Come on back with me. So right here is where I want to introduce you to our storage room. And as you can see, there are so many essential things in here that we have that we can be able to assist the community with, from diapers to blankets to toiletries. And this room is just going to get more full. This is probably the only time that you'll see it looking this empty if you do ever come out in person to be able to visit this place. Go ahead and come on back. We do have an area where we will want to add a washer and dryer so that we can be able to wash clothes for anyone that comes in that might need to be refreshed before leaving us or going on to the next part of our services. This room right here, super excited. This is our multi-purpose room. This room is not only going to be used for counseling, we also have Central La Familia to be able to meet people here once it's all set up, but we also have the availability to hold a person from 24 hours up to 7 days. This is going to be an emergency rescue center right here in the city of Parlier that is going to be able to help all of the cities around surrounding this area, which was Orange Cove, Dinuba, Reedley, all the rural areas right here. So we're just going to be able to help, and it's going to go out further. So I'm going to go ahead and take you this way. I want to introduce you to someone who's really important to out here. This person is Parlier's own case manager for all the victims of human trafficking, who is also working with the community to meet the needs, whether it be food, groceries, or anything. Like, she's here to be that person to help. This is Miss Yolanda. Yolanda is an amazing person who has been brought to Breaking the Chains with the help of the city of Parlier to be able to be our case manager that is going to assist in every need from start to finish on any person who walks through these doors. So on behalf of Breaking the Chains and Deborah and myself, we just want to thank you so much, because none of this is possible without all of you, the city of Parlier, our donors, our volunteers, our staff, all of you. All of this is possible because of you, and we just want to thank you.
Hello, everybody. We're back, and we are so incredibly excited. I hope you loved the tour of the new rescue center. Again, I know that for us, we are so incredibly just moved and overwhelmed at the impact that has been made in this community over the last 3 to 4 years. And that's really just because you guys have cared. You guys have answered the call from multiple organizations, from the Central Valley Justice Coalition, Fresno County EOC, and Breaking the Chains, to step up and get involved, and you've done that. And because of that, we've been able to expand these services. I'm really honored today to have with us the head of our Vice Intel unit, and that is Sergeant Sean Biggs. Sean, thank you so much for joining us today. I mean, I really, really appreciate you and everything you're doing, not only on the our community.
Oh, you're welcome.
I know you only have a few minutes. You have so many other things going on, but I know that your guys' team has already been able to utilize the rescue center several times. I mean, you've had several minors that you've been able to bring through here. I was explaining to everybody, just as a victim of human trafficking myself, and also working with human trafficking victims and going on site dozens of times with you guys in operations and contact visits, that, you know, whenever you're operating from like a hospital room, the side of the road, a hotel, like, just the other day I was out there with you guys, and
right. Yeah.
She was so hypersensitive to like every car that went by. You could tell she
right.
shut up, get out of my face. I don't want to talk to nobody. I just want to be safe. So
Right.
explain, if you can, in your own words, like how does this, taking them out of that atmosphere into this calm, more relaxing environment help you guys when you're doing your job?
Yeah. Well, I mean, prior to having access to the rescue center, I mean, all you guys were obviously always a resource for us, and we could not do what we do without you guys. We're just one part of the puzzle. You guys are part of the puzzle too. It takes law enforcement, it takes the non-government organizations, but in particular to your question, the big thing with us is obviously when we come into contact with these female victims, there's a reluctance. They know because they've been, I can't find the exact correct word, but they've
been terrified.
yeah, I mean, yeah, they're terrified. If I don't want to say trained, it sounds like a terrible word, but they've been trained not to talk to law enforcement. They know that they're going to get in trouble if they find out that they're talking to law enforcement. So it's a difficult contact to begin with. We know these females want out of the life. We know that it's what they're up against and what they're going to have to deal with potentially when they get back to their pimp. So just the initial conversation is difficult enough. There's only one or two ways that we were able to do it before. Either we took them downtown to Fresno Police Department headquarters, which is probably just as bad, if not worse, because it traumatizes the victim and they feel as though they're becoming, being introduced into the system. We tried the best we can.
They're the ones being criminalized because now I'm
exactly
right.
Now
I have to go to the police department, and I remember because everybody, this, so don't be shocked.
Yeah.
But I've been a 5-year-old more times than I can count. So
right. So obviously we want to make them comfortable. We let them know, hey, they're not going to jail, but still, it's just an uncomfortable place for them to have that conversation with us and to actually break down the barriers and get to the root of the problem, what we're trying to do with them. And out in the field, it's almost just as difficult. And we can, how many times have you been in the back of an undercover van or in an alleyway like we were on Monday night, where it's and they're constantly looking over their shoulder because they feel that their pimp is going to be right there. Somebody's watching or somebody's going to say something. So
and I do remember that. I mean, I don't think that
you're right.
That's not out of the ordinary. I know for me, and that was in 1999 when we didn't have the technology, there was always someone watching.
Exactly. And a lot of these girls, they have, the Snapchat app, and their pimps know exactly where they're at because they just know. So I do remember the first time we actually took one of our victims to the rescue center, and it was a completely different ballgame. They were in a safe place. They were surrounded by your folks down at Breaking the Chains. And it's kind of instantaneous. They get them in a safe spot. We're able to offer them some food, something to drink, some rest if they need that, whatever it is. But not only
you say that, by the way, just to tell you, that minor is doing phenomenal right now.
Right, I know, and she was, and we had numerous contacts with her up to that point, and so that's what I'm saying. You could see that it was just instant. If we're able to actually get them to the rescue center, I mean that's a huge first step, not only for furthering our investigation, but they can start receiving that treatment and getting the services that they need right on the spot. So I can't begin to explain. I think you'd have to walk a mile in our shoes as far as being like a law enforcement officer and dealing with the victims out in the street to truly understand how terrified these young ladies are when they come into contact with us. We've had the conversation. Everybody knows things have changed dramatically since the 90s. These individuals aren't looked so much as being a root of the problem, is that they're victims. They're being victimized. They don't want to do this. So having the ability to have a resource like this is going to be huge, not only for the Fresno Police Department, but Fresno County Sheriff's Department in Central Valley for that case. And the fact that the services are actually going to expand and that uniform officers are actually going to have access to this rescue center as well, it's going to be huge as well, because a lot of times we can only work so many hours in the day. And somebody's, pulling the night shift and they're working weekends. And a lot of times those are uniform patrol officers who come into contact with these individuals. And they need that resource there because they don't know how to deal with these victims sometimes, because it is a unique set of circumstances and the way, these individuals should be treated and the way we try and get them assistance and conduct the investigation. So to be able to get them into a safe spot, at least maybe until, a phone call can be made and one of us can come out and take over the investigation, that's huge, because between the time that's usually made, they're always looking around their shoulder, they're looking to throw away, they just want to leave. That's it. So having this rescue center is going to be a game changer.
Well, we thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking the time to come out or to sit down today. Obviously, none of us with COVID come together.
Right. I still got my mask right here. So
right. I know I have mine. Here's mine. If I leave this office, it's on.
all right.
But I want to thank you again, just really from the bottom of my heart, your entire team. I know that, they work undercover, so we can't talk about them or show them, but, tell them, and we love you. We love them. They really are the heartbeat of what we do. I constantly hear from other counties throughout the state and the nation. And when they talk, I feel for them when they talk about some of the struggles they've had. And I think about how great our women and our men are here in Fresno in law enforcement. So you guys are incredibly trauma informed. And that's coming from me as a survivor, not as a leader. I've been on the other end of that and been on this end with you guys. And it's amazing. So I'm honored to work with you. So thank you for taking that time. We really appreciate it.
Oh, you got to remember one thing, we had a good teacher. So you keep doing what you're doing, you and Tiffany and everybody out there breaking the chains. We appreciate it as well. So
thank you so much. Well, enjoy the rest of the day. Go get some bad guys.
Okay. All right. We'll do. Okay.
Bye.
All right, Deborah. Bye-bye.
Welcome to the BTC Rescue Center and day 2 of our tour. We are so incredibly excited for what this center represents and what's available to us now because you've given so generously. And more specifically, because people like Fig Garden Rotary, who worked tirelessly and gave us the funds to really put the bones and the structure together for this facility. And then of course, who could forget Pink, right? Pink fundraised $150,000 for operational costs to finish off the construction projects, and which put into our second project I'm going to show you right after this. We are so incredibly excited. So come inside, let's not waste any time. As you come in, I'm going to kind of walk you through some of the things that happens here in the Rescue Center, and also some of the ways that you can give. I'm hoping that through this tour, not only do you get a firsthand look at what's going on here at Breaking the Chains, how you're making an impact, but also how you can continue to make a difference. So please keep your eyes open. If you see something that jumps out to you, we are needing decorators. There are a lot of materials that we continue to need on a day-to-day basis that need to be replenished. And these are incredible areas that if you don't have the opportunity to give monetarily or even of your time right now amidst all the COVID restrictions and the pandemic that's upon us, maybe you have construction paper. Maybe you see some areas you're like, you know what? I could hang a picture right there. I think this will look really nice. Call us. Let us know. We'd be happy to hear from you. But look, let's look around. So right here is our small, quaint, but our children's area. I don't think that people often understand that we serve minors and adults. And some of our victims have been as young as 8 years old. But more importantly, a lot of our victims have children. They've already been thrusted into a lifestyle of some incredible dysfunction and unfortunate opportunities. Well, maybe not opportunities isn't a great word. Some unfortunate circumstances that have come about. So a lot of our clients come to us as young teen moms or even young adults with multiple children. And so this is an area where we can really begin to provide some of the critical services to them. Human trafficking extends far beyond the victim themselves. For those of you who don't know, I'm not just one of the founders. I'm also a survivor of human trafficking. And the victimization that occurred in my life from a teenager on in through becoming a young adult, it didn't just affect me. It affected the 3 children, then eventual 4 children, but initially the 3 children that came into that environment with me, but then the 4th child that would continue to grow within that environment. It affected my father. It affected my grandparents, my uncles, my aunts, friends, just family. It really just ripples out into everybody who's involved with that victim. So for us, we understand that. And we understand that it's critical that we're able to not only help the victim, but help the victim by helping the support system that may be in place around that victim, or helping those understand who have been in the life, who have been affected by the things that have happened to that particular individual, to help them process through that so they can all collaboratively move forward together. Like we always talk about, we're better together. Well, here is that place where we work with some of our smaller clients. And so we can do things with simply while we're in an interview, while they're in a case management, while they're going through whatever some of those initial rescue processes are. The children can be here. They can be here with one of our victim advocates, with another volunteer. They're able to just play and maybe get their head away from some of the things that have happened. I can't count how many times we've had homeless mothers come in, young homeless mothers who only want the best for their children, who need this time, and that child needs that time to get away from the chaos, to just come and play cook and pick up a baby doll or watch a movie, right? So mom can get the care that she needs over here in this area. But one of the things that's really near and dear to my heart is some of the art projects and art therapy opportunities that we have here, again, because you've given. And it's another area where you can continue to give. Now, right now, this is really just a kind of a small cabinet area that we have, and it may not seem like a big deal to a lot, but it's a huge deal, especially to me. One of the things that we've noticed is that our younger clients are often able to express themselves much better through art and play therapy. And so what we're hoping is that you can help us kind of build up this stash. We do art therapy, and we'll talk about that a little bit more with all of our clients. So in particular right here, we're looking for crayons, markers, educational games, things that can be brought in and can be utilized for those younger clients. And this will be their special area where our volunteers and our victim advocates know they can come. Mom knows she can come and pull these things out. Even dad, right? They can come, pull these things out, and begin to really work with their children. So we already have some coloring books. We have some frozen items. We have some really great kids games and books and card activities for the kids, but we're looking for more. So maybe you work within the school district. Maybe you work within counseling. Maybe you just got some extra construction paper laying around, or my favorite time, August, whenever school supplies come back in and you see them all for 50 cents and 99 cents, you'll pick up a ton of those and bring those here to us. So really excited about this. As we come this way, we have also been able to utilize 2 additional offices, and these 2 additional offices really have a multi-purpose to them. Some of them are used for private law enforcement interviews, so this is a private space, again, where law enforcement during those initial encounters can take these individuals and go through some of the critical steps that are needed to not only help this person become successful and restart their life, but to also find the individuals responsible for trafficking them. That is critical, and I think that's something that we often overlook, is that although we have rescued a client, most traffickers have anywhere from 5 to 15 other victims. And so if we can find that individual, then we can not only stop them from continuing the cycle of re-trafficking hundreds down the line, but also rescue the other victims that might be there in that place. So very, very important. Also, to touch back, it's really important in that process because, again, whenever you're in a hospital room, again, as a survivor, but when you're in a hospital room, when you're on the side of a road, when you're in a motel, you are so hypersensitive to everything that's going on around you. You don't want to talk to officers. You don't want to talk to me. They don't want to talk to anybody. It really is like a scared animal who just wants to get away. They don't know where they want to run to or where they want to go to, but they want to be out of that place of chaos, and they want a place to feel safe. When they're coming to this confidential location, it's quiet, it's calming, it's nurturing. We don't have 20 or 30 people running in and out of here. They know that they're safe. We can't disclose the location, but just upon entry, they know that they're safe and nobody knows where they're at. This is a much more nurturing environment for our law enforcement to be able to get some of that critical information. And again, what's most important to breaking the chains, that our clients can then make rational, informed decisions about the care that they need to receive. So we come back in here. I was telling you that the offices are multi-purpose, and they're multi-purpose for a couple of reasons. So we also utilize during the day whenever we don't have rescue operations. And again, it's awesome because law enforcement is able to let us know, or collaborative partners ahead of time, that, hey, we got an ETA. That means an estimated time of arrival for 10 minutes or 15 minutes. But in the meantime, whenever we don't have that operating here, we're able to actually use this for our residential case management. And I think that's important to help you. I think it is important to help you understand how we work with what you've given us, which is really important, that we are good stewards of everything that has been given to us by you, that we can make the largest impact with what we have available. So I know we haven't taken you on the tour of our initial facility, or the primary facility that we've been using, but that is a large facility that is about 4 times this size, and we use it for our executive offices, which is where I'm located, where Tiffany Apodaca, our other co-founder, and HR personnel is located. We're our non-residential case manager, and this is also where we were providing case management services to our residential. Our residential case management is what we call our most comprehensive and critical care clients. These clients really demand the lion's share of our time and our services. And so having, again, just like our others, a private place that is away from some of the non-residential clients. These are clients that are court ordered, that have chosen to receive services on their own, and who are coming in and out each and every day. It's critical that that also can happen in this private location. So this office right here dubs as a residential case management office, and it's also an office that can be used by our law enforcement. So we're really excited about that. Just like most of the offices know that our residential case management is out today under COVID quarantine, and we'll have her back really, really soon. But this is an exciting space. Now, one of the crown jewels that I'd like to introduce to you, because every single employee, every single volunteer is so incredibly important to us, is our juvenile program director. She works diligently, and I have to give her a shout out. She's been with Breaking the Chain since the beginning. I joke and say she's operated in almost every position. She started out as a volunteer. She's been with us through the worst times in the building phase, and now as we flourish. And we really couldn't do what we do without her. And she provides the critical care services to our juveniles and helps us oversee our entire minor and juvenile program. And so this is her office. Hi, Shelly. How are you?
Hi, Deborah.
Say hi to all of our viewers, all of our donors, all those who have given. And so if you get the opportunity to meet Shelly face to face, send her an email. You can go online onto our staff page, and below for any staff, you can see a little link to email them. Send her a shout out. Tell her how much you appreciate her. She really is. It is staff members like Shelly in particular. It's volunteers like this whose heart really is for our clients. And because, again, of the critical care that she gives, the love, the heart, we've been able to rescue countless minors. They love her to death. She's the first person that they want to talk to, and she's typically the first person that law enforcement sees whenever they come in here. So thank you again, and this is her incredible space, and this is what we utilize for some of our minor services and rescue services whenever they initially come in. Thanks, Sally.
Thanks.
We are so excited. I will show you over here our computer lab area. So this is just for this side. We have one on the other side. So these particular 2 computers are used here. They're used here for a myriad of things. Some of our residential use them. Sometimes whenever we have what we're about to show you next, we have some of our rescue clients that come in, and they'll stay with us anywhere from a few hours to up to 14 days. They're able to use this for some of the housing searches, job searches, and some of the other things that all of us know how much we need technology nowadays. So this is really a great opportunity, and we want to thank the Well Church and Cottman Technology. The Well Church has been very generous contributors in the anti-human trafficking movement, and Breaking the Chains has been a recipient of so much of what they've done. And these are just 2 of, I believe it's 5 computers that were donated to us in order to provide some of those critical care classes. I cannot say how invaluable or valuable these have become, especially with the COVID pandemic. Breaking the Chains has not shut down. We haven't slowed services. We have stayed on site. Unfortunately, just like some of our other essential personnel and law enforcement, human trafficking didn't stop because of the pandemic. It only increased. So these have become a new gem for us here. And then I'll just point out over here again why some of our craft projects and things are so important, because this is some of the stuff we use for our young adult and our teen clients. So in here right now, again, same thing. If you have crayons, pencils, school supplies, colors, just whatever you think and anything you can think of would be important, please let us know. We covet your generous donations. So I hope that you've had a great time touring this facility with us. We really appreciate everything that you've done. And what I want to do next is I want you to follow me to one of the most exciting developments. We've kept this under wrap. We haven't talked a lot about it, but today we've saved this for last because we're unveiling this just for you. Come with me. Surprise! Welcome to the newest development in 2020 for Breaking the Chains. You know, this wasn't something that we seen coming, but it's definitely something that was needed. Welcome to the BTC Emergency Mobile Shelter. And because of the generosity of Pink and what they've done, we were able to go above and beyond just the rescue center and include this facility as well. What makes this facility so unique and so incredibly important is because it offers us the opportunity to provide emergency shelter for a family of up to 5. That is incredible. That means we have a livable space for 5 individuals to come into this emergency shelter at any point in time and stay for a few hours up to 14 days. But what's better is it's mobile. So as I kind of show you around this area right now, I want you to just keep in mind everything that we talked about at the rescue center and how critical it is that at the point of rescue, that the individuals that we are engaging with received trauma-informed care in a calm, nurturing, and safe environment. And this is something we can take on the road. This is something that in a moment's notice, if we are being contacted by Homeland Security, the FBI, DOJ, and most of the time our local law enforcement, we can simply show up and provide them with a facility where they can come and take that individual away from the chaos, the hustle and bustle, or even the traumatic environment that they're being rescued from. And that is because of the generosity of this community, and more importantly, the generosity of Pink. You ladies worked so incredibly hard. And you know what? We have been so blessed to be able to take what we get and not just amplify it, but multiply it. And look at where we're at today. So we also want to thank the generous donor who is anonymous, who also donated not only this trailer, but so many other services as far as to help us transport and to do other things whenever we're needing this. Out of the box, we were also able to take this last summer and take it up to a private campsite by another generous donor. Thank you to the Dirksen family, and be able to provide 3 days to our residential clients to get them away from all of the chaos of the pandemic and help them get beside a river, just get alone with themselves, be alone with us, and really begin to just think about being future focused and all of the wonderful things that are going to be unveiling in their life. So again, so many opportunities come from this opportunity. And more importantly, they come from the opportunities you've given us. So in this facility, we have, again, 5 different bedding areas. There is a king-size suite up here with a full bathroom and a full shower. This is not just simply like something that's really small. It actually is just state of the art. I have to admit, I'm a little bit jealous when I'm in here because there's just so many wonderful features. So it's very roomy, very spacious, a huge area. There's a second sink area. Again, a full bath with a full shower, small tub, toilet area. Plenty of closet space. They have their living area here as I pivot around with you, where they can, this also turns into a bedding area. This also, if needed, turns into a bedding area, but operates as a living room and dining room during the day. Full kitchen with a gas range, microwave, fridge, plenty of cabinet space again. But something I'm really excited about is another opportunity for you to help us replenish. I want you guys to keep in mind, all of our RV professionals who are out there, is there so many out of the box areas that you can give. So I'm going to let you know specifically. We are looking for either gift cards or propane donations. Maybe this hits your heart and you're like, you know what, BTC, the next time you need your propane tank filled, you let me know and I'm going to come out there and fill it for you. We need that. Maybe you have extra propane tanks you can bring us. That would be phenomenal. We also use night service for our dumping. So to dump the sewage and to continuously have this cleaned out and hygienic for whoever we have in here. There's another area. Maybe you're going to say, I'm going to pledge to dump your tank every month for the next year. Contact Tiffany Apodaca. There's so many things that you can do, and you can take those bills off of our hands and allow us to do exactly what we did here, right? Whenever donors think out of the box, and that's really what happened here. And they say, look, let me do something tangible. Let me pick up your propane costs, your dumping costs, your gas costs for the next year. That allows us to take the money that's allocated there and to put it into projects like this. It's allowed us to expand exponentially. Right now, Breaking the Chain serves 73 clients. That's how big our caseload is. Minors, young adults, male and females. 73, not 2, not 3, 73 lives are being impacted today because you care and you give. Well, this is something else that we've done that's a little out of the box. This is a toy hauler that we've converted. And so what we've done is we've converted this into a large storage space. So when we're out and we're doing mobile rescues and we're working with law enforcement or whatever the case may be, we're able to go into our rural communities. So this also benefits our Parlier campus. And we're able to take clothing and food and hygiene products. So this is something that we can pull up, provide case management on site, right? And also provide clothing and food and other things for those in need. These are things that are available because you care. So again, we are looking for propane. We're looking for someone to help us with our dumping costs. We're looking for someone who says, look, I'm going to give you some Save Mart cards, Winco cards, gift cards for food so that we can keep our shelves stocked in here. We regularly have someone. We just happen to not have someone today, but pretty much on most days we do have somebody in or out of this unit, which again has also been, I almost forgot, an incredible tool for the pandemic. During this pandemic, we have had to bring individuals in through our rescue center, excuse me, in through our residential center. And so what this also is able to do is allow us to bring somebody in here while we wait for a negative COVID test. So we're able to intake where other shelters have had to close down. Other shelters don't have the availability for bed space right now, not only here in Fresno, but throughout the nation because of being afraid of bringing somebody who is COVID positive into their shelter and it's starting to infect everybody else. Well, what we're able to do is initially bring somebody into here and then get a rapid test. As soon as we can get a negative test and take them through whatever the quarantine process is, depending on their situation, we're able to move them out into a residential unit, but even better to some of our partners. We've been able to have partners open beds because we're able to say, hey, we had them in quarantine. We have a negative COVID test result. Can we please bring them to your facility? So this is helping just exponentially. Last, but definitely not least, we're asking again. This year, we've had so much abundance. We now have 2 BTC vans, 2 vehicles that we're able to transport our clients, which again is critical. They're going 24/7. So we're always looking for gas cards in that area as well. But we need a 5th wheel unit. If you got one you want to give us, great. Tiff and I drive really, really well, and we'll be happy to do that. But maybe you can't give us an actual 5th wheel, and sorry if I'm being an uneducated girl, but a 5th wheel truck or a truck that can haul a 5th wheel unit. Maybe you have one. And maybe you're going to say, you know what, Deborah? I'm going to give you my name and number. And when the FBI calls you and says in 2 hours they need that unit somewhere, or tomorrow at 8 a.m. they need that unit somewhere, you're willing to drive for us. There's a process. You would contact me. We'd go through a background check, but we need that. So if you have a 5th wheel truck and you've been looking to get involved and there's a way that you could help us as we work with law enforcement through some of these operations and get this unit to where it needs to be, we need your help. So again, thank you so much. Everything we do is because you care. Everything we do is because you're our partner. So you've done this. You've helped us once again. We thank you so much. We hope that throughout the chaos and all the changes of 2020, that 2021 is a year for new opportunity, a year for growth, a year for us to work together, to work with what we have, to do what we need to do. And of course, as always, for you guys to remember that together we are breaking the chains.